Hi, and welcome to your energy art reading for the week of May the 20th to the 26th. My name is Vicky Paul, and I'm an intuitive artist, and I use creativity to help you reconnect with your higher self and to just provide guidance and wisdom to help you live a more aligned life. And I'm just looking at the screen. It looks quite dark in the background, which is kind of strange because I'm filming this on a very sunny day. So this week is an interesting week because we have a full moon on the 23rd, and it's the flower moon, which is all about communication and about connection. And that's both personal communication and professional communication and connection. And it's also about adventure and stepping into the unknown, which is interesting because when I tuned in, these are some of the symbols that came through. So if you're new to the channel, thank you very much for watching this video. And although these are very general readings, and it is for the week of the 20th to the 26th of May, 2024, I genuinely believe that if you come across this at any time, there will be something in this reading that's going to resonate with you. So I start off with this. It looks kind of like a corkscrew, but it felt like a firework. You know when you light a firework and it kind of spirals and to me, I feel that this is one of two things. You're either going to go off like a rocket this week, either you personally, or something's going to go off like a rocket. And it almost feels that it's slightly out of control. You'll see that it's spiraling, but it is heading upwards and out and in the right direction, but it's not a straight trajectory. So it feels that you are going to be moving in the right direction, but there might be sort of looping back. Then I got, and this is a difficult one to actually see, to believe it or not, this is I'll just move my hand out of the way. This is an old plough. So this is somebody ploughing seeds. So this is very much about the energy of you planting seeds for something professionally or something personally. You could be planting seeds. This is the time that people are putting their vegetable gardens out and planting seeds for that. But I feel this is much more metaphorical. And given it's the new moon this week, and that energy is all about bounty and the bountiful aspects of life, this energy ties in here. So you're going to be planting the seeds for the future, for yourself, for your family, for your career, and for life in general. But you'll notice that it's manually done. It's not done by a machine. So this is going to be something that's going to require a bit of blood, sweat, and tears, but it's going to be something that's going to be very satisfying. So all the hard work, you're going to see the fruits of your labor, but it is going to require hard work. I then got the energy of the sun, and the sun really shining its rays brightly. And you'll notice there's a lot of energy in this. And I feel this is as much about you shining your energy, but doing it in a bold and bright fashion. But you'll notice that there's kind of orange in here as well. And I feel that, whilst the sun provides energy and life for us, it's also fiery. And I feel that in kind of alignment with this energy here, it feels that there's going to be a wee bit of fiery energy around this week. So just be aware of that. And also this is about, not getting burnt. So I did talk about last week, and the energies for me have been very much about adventure and stepping outside your comfort zone and taking that first step forward. But it also feels that this is a wee bit about getting burnt. And what I notice when I've started doing these readings, I see in the upcoming week either signs or there's things that I have talked about that have manifest themselves. And this could be right across the board, from the news to physically doing something. So it may be that if you're cooking or you're working with the oven, you might accidentally burn yourself. So just be very mindful of that. I then got the image of a field, which very much ties in with this energy of ploughing. Let me just cut this. Where are we? It's not wanting to come up. So this is very much about the fruits of your labor. So it's two or threefold. It could well be that you're in the countryside. There's a lot of greenery around about you, and it's as literal as that. But I feel this is very much tied to the ploughing the seeds and planting those seeds. And this is obviously a very lush field. So I feel that this is absolutely connected with using the energy of the sun, along with those seeds planted, that life-giving, everything is pointing towards you being able to manifest your dreams and put those plans in place and watch them grow and come to fruition. And I feel this is something that's fairly quick, because the next thing I got was the symbol of a clock and time. So it feels to me that sometimes time can drag, but this is not. This felt very much like a speeded up energy. So I feel if you have been working on a new project or you've been putting plans in place, over the next week or two, you're going to start to actually feel and see things beginning to happen. Previously, the energies have been about patience, but I feel that we've put a bit of the legwork in and we're actually starting to see things unfold in a time that we would like. This energy also feels to me that we are going to be clock watching and we are going to be pressed for time. So some of you may be running late for things, squeezing too much in. And time is going to be of the essence this week, and you're going to be waiting on the answer for something, and it's be coming in at a specific time. So time will be very important to you this week. And I know that because I then got the symbol of one of the, oh my goodness, where's my brain gone? That's terrible. The with the sand, what they called. I've just had a brain freeze. That will be interesting. So there'll be a pause in time. Anyway, this is an old-fashioned, goodness, it'll come back to me. Stick the answers in the comments below. But this is very much about time passing, where this was very quick and it was a clock. But I then got this symbol, obviously, of the old-fashioned, I still can't find that word. That's hilarious. I'm not going to press myself for it. Menopause, sometimes your brain just freezes. And that's interesting that that's happened. So it may well be that you're going to be under pressure this week and it's going to stop you in your tracks. Yeah, that's going to be relevant for some of you. But this feels that this is very much a slower passage of time. So it feels that there's going to be two energies running in conjunction with one another. And sometimes when we work from an energetic place and we're combining that sort of energy spiritual with the logical physical, it feels that there's sort of two of you and there's this double dual aspect of separation where one aspect of yourself is turning really quickly and the other one is turning a little slower. So it may well feel that this energy this week, there's two aspects running in conjunction with one another, and it'll be about managing that. I then got the symbol of an eye. And what was really interesting, when I first drew this, the eye was really open and you could see the whole of the iris and the pupil. And then I was kind of called to draw a bit more of the eyelid, and you'll notice that the iris has been sort of closed over by the eyelid. So when I initially got this image, it was about and felt like the all-seeing eye. And it was very bright and very bold. So you're going to be able to see clearly in certain circumstances where you have been, we spoke about in previous readings, about not being able to see the wood for the trees. Very much the energy has shifted this week. And I feel that you are going to see clearly now answers to challenges that you may have had, or answers to questions, or you're going to see people very clearly. Or if you have been struggling to visualize where you want to move next, what the next steps are in a project or a business or a relationship, it feels very much that you are going to see a lot clearly this week. But then because I started to draw the lid, it almost felt that that lid was closing over. So it feels that there's a time associated with this. So again, tying in with the clock, use the energies this week to help you see more clearly, because it feels that this is going to be a short window of insight, of wisdom, of sort of psychic third eye vision, where you will be able to narrow in on exactly what it is that you're looking for. I then also feel that for some of you, this has got to do with tiredness. And when I initially saw the eye and it was wide open, that means that for some of you, and it won't resonate for everyone, there's that kind of wired, tired anxiety. So some of you may be suffering from additional anxiety this week. You maybe not have great sleep. So just be aware of that you might have more restless sleep this week and you are going to be a bit more tired. So just to take a bit of time and step back and nurture yourself this week. I then got the image of, this is a maypole, believe it or not. That's obviously the pole, and all the coloured ribbon was spinning round. Now, we are obviously in May, and so that kind of makes sense from a timeless point of view. But this was very much about tying in with the moon energy and this idea of connection with ourselves. But actually, it's much bigger than that. It's with the community, both round about you and globally, and all these different colors of ribbons. I was kind of called to use lots of different colors for the ribbons rather than just the same color of ribbon. This feels very much that it's all about the individuals, all the different colors and nuances across the world, but all tied in, to the same spot, the same source spot. So we're all connected, but we can all live our lives independently of one another. But actually, the image had a whole load of children holding on to each of those ribbons and just dancing around this maypole, laughing and enjoying one another and creating beautiful patterns as the ribbons weaved in and out one another. So I feel this is very much related to you and your place in the world and how much joy you can bring in by finding your tribe, finding that connection, within the local community, but also much wider than that. And actually celebrating, because the maypole is all about celebration and bringing in, the new energies of spring. There are other, reasons for it. But for me, the energies are very much around that. And this is about reminding you of the fact that, we are all connected. We're all connected. And collectively, when we work together, we can create something really beautiful and actually have a lot of fun doing it. The next image I received was, now it was on the slant, but this has kind of stumbled me a wee bit because the image was very clear, but the meaning behind it is still a little elusive. When I initially drew it, I felt that it was like the lattice in a garden that you tie plants to. So it may well be that some of you are in your gardens and you're literally been putting up lattice and you're tying plants to the lattice to spread the plants out and secure the plants and their growth. But this also feels that from a metaphorical point of view, the universe is providing the framework to support you in your growth, which would make sense from the ploughing and the planting of the seeds. So you have the structure and you have the framework, and again, tying in with this energy of the new moon, with it being about adventure. When you think of a plant that grows and needs, support, whether it's a vine or some kind of jasmine plant or something like that, that needs initial support to train it in a certain direction, you use this framework and then sort of tie the various branches and the stems onto the framework to enable it to have that stability to then use its energy to grow. So you're very much tapping into the energy of the universe. The universe is providing the framework and the support for you to just, spread your wings and just grow. I also feel that this is kind of like a noughts and crosses. So this is obviously the old-fashioned game where you put noughts and crosses in and you try and find 3 in a row. So I feel that there's going to be some puzzling energy around this week as well. And it may well be that, because noughts and crosses is quite a quick game, so it may well be that the energies, again, tying in with the 2 different energies of the fast time and the slow time. So it may well be that for some of you, you're going to have to be a bit trial and error. You're going to have to play the game, as it were, the game of life, and just keep trying till you get those 3 crosses or those 3 knots in a row, and then you can score it off and move on. I then had an image of a wagon wheel. Excuse me. And this feels very much, excuse me, I'm going to take a wee glass of water. I inhaled one of these sort of floaty seeds that are flown about at the moment in England. It's absolutely gorgeous, but there's just lots of them everywhere. So this is a wagon wheel, and I did see this attached to some kind of cart and trundling along, and it wasn't a modern wheel or a modern tire where the journey was smooth. So this feels, this is like an old-fashioned cartwheel, centuries ago, where people would load up their wagon and they'd slowly journey from one destination to the next, almost like one of these kind of caravans that had families in it and would move from town to town and set up camp overnight. So it feels that for some of you, you are on this journey, and it feels like a journey that's going to be life-changing. And the destination is as important as the journey. And they always talk about the journey being as important as the destination, but I feel this is very much in line with you planting those seeds about where you want to go. And I feel because this was a wheel rather than a modern wheel, that there is some kind of lifelong lesson involved in this journey. I mean, this is a big deal, a big ticket for some of you. And it's going to feel that you've been on this journey for a long time. This is not something that's a new journey. This is a journey that you've been on for quite a while, but it feels very much like you are coming towards the end of that journey. And it almost feels, because this is a kind of rickety old wheel and it's bumping over the cobbles on the road, it's not a smooth road. There's still some bumps there, but because you've been on this journey for so long, it feels that you just negotiate and absorb all those bumps because you've got so much history of being on this journey. There's been so much wisdom that you have gathered, but it feels very much like the journey is coming to an end. And I think because the sun is here, now I don't read tarot cards, but I have a vague recollection that the sun is to do with fruition, the end of things. So it feels that you're very much coming towards the end of this journey, and it's going to be a good journey. It's going to be a good conclusion, rather. I then got some interesting words that came up. So dizzy, not good enough, indecisive, answers, and what was that last one? Stomach. So some of you will be suffering from literally some dizziness, some headaches this week. That could be tied in with the anxiety and the tiredness from the lack of sleep. But it could also be this planting seeds and reaching and seeing clearly, associated with seeing your vision and actually seeing the future. It could be that it's kind of dizzying heights. And I remember hearing somewhere that when we dream, we've got a dream so big that we actually don't know how we're going to get there. If your dreams, you can actually map the path to how you achieve them, then the dreams aren't big enough. So I feel like it's like, go big, go to those dizzying heights, really look to the future and allow your imagination to run wild. That said, you are going to be plagued by this not feeling good enough. And I feel for so many of us, we experience imposter syndrome throughout our lives, in amongst relationships, at work. And I especially feel when you've got this dream and you want to go for it, there's always people or those nagging self-doubts. So there might be some indecision this week about your goals tied into not feeling good enough. But I want you just to scrap that to the best of your ability, because you are absolutely good enough. The answers are going to come. The answers are absolutely going to come. And when I was tuning in and doing the reading, I had this real sort of churning sensation in my stomach, and I actually heard, when you're hungry and you can hear the stomach acids milching about, and I made this really loud groan. So I feel the stomach is where we hold our energy, our emotional energy, but it's also the part of the gut instinct. So I feel that there's going to be huge shifts in this area, and you're going to be starting to tap into that a lot more. And it's going to give you some real clarity where you are going to see where it is you want to go, but it's going to be more than seeing, you're going to feel it. And this is where the dizzying heights are going to come from. And for some of you, you're actually going to get kind of downloads of what it is you want to do, where you want to go, what it is you want to achieve, who you want to be with, where you want to belong. But it's going to feel really strong in the pit of your stomach, because there has been a lot of indecision in the energy recently. And it feels that there's going to be a lot more clarity. And not only are you going to see it, but you're going to feel it, which tied in with these two energies, the vision, and also the fact that the stomach energy came through. So there you have it. That is your general energy reading for the week of the 20th to the 26th of May. Thank you as ever for watching this video. If you've stuck around till the end, thank you. I really appreciate it. If the energies and the wisdom that came through did resonate with you, I would really appreciate if you would like, share, and subscribe, because first of all, it helps me spread the word about what I'm doing so that I can reach more people, but also lets me know that what I'm saying and what I'm doing is resonating with you, because this is a very new way of bringing through information and wisdom using art to channel energy and to channel visions and information and wisdom and guidance. So I'm really excited to keep doing this. And obviously it would be wonderful to know that it's connecting with you too. So have a great rest of the week. And if you've got any questions or suggestions, please pop them in the comments. I will be sure to answer them. So sending lots of love for the rest of the week.